everyone! I feel like it has been a really long time since I've done a tattoo related video, so that's what you're getting from me today. I feel like this is a good time to talk a bit about how to care for your tattoos in the more extreme and more harsh weather conditions of summer and winter. Quick little disclaimer, I am not at all saying that you have to do these things and that if you don't implement these things that you're doing something wrong. These are completely optional ways of preserving the quality of your tattoos and protecting them from conditions that could degrade their quality, fade the ink, make the lines more blurred, all that kind of stuff. I'm going to start off with summer because as an Australian that is what we are currently experiencing right now, as is the rest of the southern hemisphere, and that is also the season in which you are most likely to do the most damage to your tattoos. The best piece of advice that I can give you when it comes to preserving the quality of your tattoos, and tattoo artists will agree with me on this one, is stay out of the fucking sun. The sun emits UV or ultraviolet light, which wreaks havoc on our tattoos and our skin health in general. What UV light does to your tattoos is it actually affects the chemical composition of the pigments in the ink. It breaks down the pigments, making lines become blurred, it can make inks fade, and it has even been known to change the colour of certain inks. So to rephrase, after repeated and or prolonged UV exposure, your tattoos are probably gonna start looking a bit shit. So while staying out of the sun is the best thing you can do to protect your tattoos, that's obviously not achievable 24/7. In the event that you are going to be in direct sunlight, your options are to either cover up, so wear long sleeves, long pants, whatever. Obviously that gets a bit hot and uncomfortable, so your other option is to use a strong SPF that protects against both UVA and UVB rays. That part is really important. A lot of sunscreens focus mainly on protecting you against UVB rays, so UVB rays are the ones that cause your skin to burn. But making sure that you're protected against UVA rays as well is just as important, if not more important, than protecting yourself against UVB. While UVB rays usually only affect the most superficial layers of skin, so the ones that are closest to the surface and cause sunburn, UVA rays penetrate much deeper down into the dermis, which is the deepest layer of skin, and UVA rays are the ones that cause things like premature aging, skin cancers, cell mutations, and are also the ones that really break down the tattoo pigments. So when you're choosing a sunscreen, it is super important to make sure it is a broad spectrum sunscreen, so one that protects against both UVA and UVB rays. Now, on the off chance that there are a couple of you watching this thinking, who fucking cares? You know, if I get a sun damaged tattoo and it fades, I can just go get a touch-up. No worries. And yeah, sure, if you want to do that, that's your choice. If you want to deliberately damage your tattoos and then go back and get a touch-up, go for it. I, however, am going to make the effort to protect myself against UV exposure to keep my tattoos looking fresh and nice, and also have, you know, the little added bonus of, you know, avoiding premature aging and, you know, melanomas. I don't know, maybe I'm just, you know, hyper aware and paranoid about skin cancer risks. In Australia we experience some of the highest levels of UV radiation in the world, so we're all pretty hyper vigilant about sun protection. But I guess in other areas of the world you may not be as aware or as worried about UV exposure and skin cancer risks, but just keep it in mind. Just keep it in there and think about it whenever you go outside. Now, in the winter, UV exposure is still a risk. UV levels have nothing to do with the temperature, so don't be fooled into thinking that just because it's cold, that means you have no risk of UV damage, because that's not how it works. However, we generally don't spend as much time outdoors during the winter, and then when we do go outside, we're pretty covered up. So we're doing good things as far as, you know, sun smart behaviours during the winter. And this is where my camera done goofed and lost one of my footage files, so that was a real pain in the anal region. Anyway, what I was saying before my camera shut itself was basically a little intro into the next tip that I have for the winter time, and that is, in the winter a lot of us experience a lot of skin dryness. This doesn't happen for everyone, but for quite a lot of people we get pretty dry skin in the winter. Having really dehydrated skin impacts our overall skin health, which obviously in turn impacts the longevity and quality of our tattoos. And back to the actual video. Keeping your skin hydrated is beneficial for multiple reasons. It prevents things like flakiness and splitting, and if you have ever had your skin split from being so dry, you know that that's not a fun experience. It improves your skin's elasticity, which in turn delays things like wrinkle development. And a nifty little thing that happens when you moisturize is that when the uppermost layers of skin absorb that moisturizer, they become slightly more translucent, which gives the appearance of a brighter tattoo. Ideally, it is best to moisturize your entire body all year round just to maintain good skin health, but skin is more prone to more extreme dryness or dehydration during the winter. So that wraps up my tips on how to care for your tattoos in the summer and winter. There are, of course, plenty of other things you can do throughout the year to maintain good skin health, like drinking plenty of water and getting plenty of vitamins and stuff like that. But UV exposure and skin dryness are, I guess, the more seasonal effects that are likely to damage your skin and your tattoos. If you have any other tips for how to protect tattoos in more harsh weather conditions, feel free to leave them down below and we can all share our knowledge and help each other keep our tattoos looking beautiful. If you want to keep up with me and what I'm doing, all of my social media accounts are linked in the description below. I also have a Patreon if you want to support me on there. Totally don't have to, completely up to you, but the option is there if you would like. Like and subscribe, yada yada yada, you know the drill. Feel free to share this with a tattooed friend of yours who keeps going out in the sunshine without protecting their tattoos. I hope you found this video somewhat helpful, and I'm gonna go now and get cool because it's really bloody hot today and my camera has already shut off from overheating twice. Bye! Oh boy, do I love filming in front of these bright, warm lights when it's 41 degrees. Help me.